So today we are looking at the Manjaro Linux. So the version is 24.0.8. So this is the latest version available right now. So here is the boot menu. Let me quickly boot it in the live boot. So Manjaro Linux is based on Arch Linux and the desktop environment. You get a lot of desktop environments. So we're going to discuss all those things about the desktop environment and also the release notes as soon as the booting process is done. So when we have the desktop layout, we can go through all those things. So the booting process will take like maybe 2 or 3 minutes usually. So that's common time in my Manjaro in the virtual machine. So I forgot to mention that I'm running it on the virtual machine, which is VMware with 60 GB of virtual disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So I'm going to mention how much of time it's going to take. Usually it will take like 2 or 3 minutes, but I'm going to mention it that. And also the country of origin is Austria, Germany, and France. So the Manjaro Linux is from this version. And this is the latest version. And about the release note, you should be seeing that in the testing update. So the common desktop environment you see is Xfce and other 2 desktop environments. So it's completely loaded up already. So I'm going to discuss all those desktop environments and all the changes in this latest version. So here is the code name of the Manjaro Linux, which is Wednesday 24.0.8. So I'm going to just open the system monitor or the task manager. So I downloaded the Xfce desktop environment right now. So there are also GNOME and KDE Plasma desktop environment, and also there are some other options too. I'm going to show you that. So I'm showing the task manager before touching anything because I want to show how much of resources it's going to consume in the virtual machines. So don't expect that there will be some smooth user experience in the virtual machines, because there will be some hiccups here and there. Most of the time there will be no issues, but sometimes there will be issues in the virtual machines. So there will be change when you install it on the bare metal and when you run it on the virtual machines. So there will be some hiccups here and there. If that's the common thing in the virtual machines, but most of the time everything will be working fine. But when you try to install it on the bare metal, it's going to be working without any issues, and also user experience will be good, and also the CPU RAM consumption will be also a bit lesser. So here is all the resources running right now. So I'm going to change the display settings after showing all these common things first. So the version of the task manager you get is 1.5.7. So I'm going to just close it. So in order to see whether the CPU is pretty much stable or not, you just need to run like 60 seconds and you should be good. And right now it's consuming like 1.1 GB of RAM of 8 GB. So these are all the resources. So I'm going to keep the task manager in the right side corner. So let's change the display settings first. So I don't know how to pronounce the code name of the Manjaro Linux. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's like a Wednesday. I don't really know how to pronounce it. You can try it in the Google Translate. It's going to pronounce it properly. So here I'm going to keep it on the right side corner. So we are going to discuss all the features, but let's first go with the internet browser. Let's open the internet browser, which is Firefox. So I should be thinking that the latest version you should be getting is 130, because in the release notes it said like you get the Firefox web browser 130. So this is the latest version, and also the 131 beta version is also available in the Firefox. If you want to check it out, you can check it out. And about the release notes of the Firefox, you can go and check in the Firefox website. So you get the latest version of Firefox. Here is the version 130.0. So I'm going to type in about support to get some additional information. Like for example, you should be getting the distro information. Browser is Firefox. Here is the build ID. Distribution is Manjaro Linux. And the kernel version you get is Linux 6.9.12-3. So I'm sitting a bit far from the monitor, so if any point is wrong, do let me know in the comment section, or else you can just pause the video and read everything. So let me type in like a Linux kernel. and hit enter. So this is the official website of the Linux kernel. You just need to type in like a kernel.org. So these are all the available versions. So RC7, which is release candidate 7 6.11 version. The stable version right now is 6.10.9, which is released on September 8th, and the long term is 6.6. and here are some other options. You can just go to the releases, and if you want you can get all the information from the Linux kernel website. So the version we are getting is 6.9 and the latest version is 6.10.9. so just for reference I opened that. So here is some of the operating system theme. Here is the theme, which is Manjaro, and when you scroll it down you should be seeing the RAM. Here is my RAM, here is the disk space, which is 7.7 GB and disk space is 5.7 GB. So here are some other options or the other versions of the browser, which is picture-in-picture, autofill and all those things. You just need to pause the video and read everything, because I'm not going to read everything because it's going to make a video lengthy. So I'm just going to show you some important things. So window protocol X11, desktop environment is Xfce, and here is my monitor resolution 1920 x 60 1920 x 1080. So here are some other options, so if you want you can go through all those things. So the latest version of the 24.08, you can go with the announcement. I'm going to show you the changes. So this is the testing updates. So here you should be seeing the release notes. So the Plasma version of a KDE Plasma desktop environment, or the Manjaro KDE Plasma desktop environment version, will be 6.1.4, and KDE Gear version will be 24.0.0, Mauikit 4.0, Firefox, which I already showed you, Phosh 0.41.1. So here are some of the important or the changes of this specific ISO file. So here is some additional information. And also when you scroll it down, you should be seeing Python info about our packages. And when you scroll it down, you should be also seeing our current supported kernels. So here are also the kernels. Here are some other information. So here you can see all those things. So in order to download, you just need to go to the source code, because in the official website there is still the older version. Let me show you that. When you click on download, you should be seeing 3 desktop environment: KDE Plasma, Xfce and GNOME. And when in the beginning I said about the desktop environments, so here are other images or the community images. You also can try the Cinnamon, i3 Window Manager, Xfce WM, and also I think these are all the other options. So most of the users will go with the main official or the main desktop environments. So in this case I downloaded the Xfce. When you hover over the download, you can see in the bottom left side corner the version will be 24.0.7. so that's the latest version or the stable version. But I downloaded the testing update, so let me try the SourceForge website. When you try to search SourceForge, let me open it. So this is the first link, and you just need to type in like a Manjaro Linux, and you should be seeing the ISO files here. So I don't really know which one is it. Let's try this one. So it's not the correct folder or correct link. So here are the projects, so it should be the exact one. So when you click on the Manjaro Linux, so here you should be seeing all the features like Xfce, KDE, GNOME, Budgie, Cinnamon, Mat, and some other information. And also when you scroll it down, you should be seeing the project activity. So here is the latest version 1 day ago. Let's go and find the information. So if you don't know about anything about Manjaro Linux, you can go here and read everything, or else you can go to the official website and get all the information. So it's a Arch-based Linux distribution. So here you can see the desktop environments available. So the latest or the 24.08 version has only 3 desktop environment, which is KDE, GNOME and the Xfce. So the most downloaded ISO file is Xfce, so I went to the Xfce. And also you should be seeing the version, which is 24.0.8, which has 437 downloads. Click on it and you should be seeing the ISO file. just change the files. So the kernel 6.9, here is the ISO file, and here is the minimal, and here is the Linux kernel 6.6. 6.6 maybe it should be the stable version, which I already mentioned, or which I already showed you in the beginning of our Linux kernel website. You can check the kernels here and decide whether it's a stable version or it's a long-term version. You can decide it from here. So I downloaded the latest kernel, which is 6.9. So this is the ISO file. When you click on it, it's going to take like a 5 seconds and you should be good with the downloads. After a few days, when it's the stable release, the ISO files will be available in the official website itself. So here is the version 24.09.08 or the 24.0.8. So this is the correct ISO file. Always check the ISO file whether you downloaded the correct one or not. So here is the ISO file. So we got all the information from the browsers. So we are going to close everything. So here are all the release notes or the important changes. So these are all basically. So if you go with the KDE Plasma version, you should be seeing 6.1.4 desktop environment, KDE Gear, and some other information. So I'm just going to close everything. So let me open the terminal. So here is the beta++ also, if you want. Let's try to find the terminal. You can also check the about Xfce here. So here is complete information. Arch Linux Xfce version is 4.18, GTK version 3.24.43. Here is my CPU. So let me give you some important information from the terminal. Let's make it bigger. So keep an eye on the CPU and RAM throughout the video. Here is the about information or the terminal information, which is 1.1.3. So let me change the color of the terminal so you can see everything without any issue. Let me load the preset, which is black and white. And also I'm going to change the transparent background to the solid color so you can see everything properly. So let me type in -sv8. So this is the command which will grab complete distro information. So you don't need to worry about some missing information. You can get all the information right here. So I'm going to just go through some important information. So host Manjaro Linux, kernel version 6.9, 64-bit, compiler GCC version 14.2.1, and here is some other information. Desktop environment Xfce 4.18.1, GTK version, which I already mentioned, XFWM4 version 4.18.0, LightDM version 1.32.0, distro Manjaro Linux based on Arch Linux. So here is the virtual machine information. Just ignore it because it's not important for the video. Here is the RAM I'm using, 8 GB, available is 7.7, used is 1.3 GB. As you can see, it's consuming 1.3 GB. Let's scroll it down. Here is the CPU information. It's clearly unnecessary in the video. We just need what CPU are we using. We are using i5 1240p, so that's the only important thing here. Here are the vulnerabilities. If you consider anything important, just pause the video and read everything on your own. So here is the display X11 server Xorg version 1.21.1.13 and XFWM4 version, which I already mentioned. Here are the monitor available or the monitor resolutions available. And when you scroll it down, you should be seeing EGL version 1.5, EGL 1.4. And what else we left here? OpenGL version 4.5, Compact-V version is 4.3, Mesa version is 24.1.6, and here is some other information. Let's go to the audio section. Here is the ELSA version. Jack version is 1.9.22, Pipewire version is 1.2.3, and here is some network and also the Bluetooth, RAID, partition, swap, sensors, and also repos. Just pause the video if you want to read anything here. You can read everything. So when you scroll it down till the end, you should be seeing processors running right now are 281 and uptime is almost 12 minutes. And what else we left here? Init systemd version is 256, shell bash version is 5.2.32, and INXI version is 3.3.36. So let me type in neofetch. Hit enter. So it says command not found. You can install NeoFetch on your own, but we already saw all the information, so there is nothing left here. Let's type in cat:/etc:/issue. Hit enter. So username is Manjaro, password is Manjaro. So let me type in some random commands. inxi -b. So these are all the same information, but in a short form, because you should be also already getting the inxi-sveit. So that's the command which will grab complete information, but if you want in a short form, you can try these commands. inxi-G. So we pretty much got all the information from the command, so I'm just going to close it. Let's try to open a bunch of applications and see the versions of the applications. So pre-installed, you should be getting all these applications. Most of them are from the Xfce desktop environment. Some are from the Manjaro Linux. So I don't think it's a lot of bloatware, but you get some applications. So if you consider it as a bloatware, it's bloatware. Then if it's important for you, it's clearly important, because VLC Media Player, Thunderbird, most of the users will be using this type of applications. So I don't know, for some people it should be like a bloatware, for some people it's essential things. So let me open a bunch of applications here to see whether the distro will handle day-to-day tasks by opening a few applications which consumes a bit of resources. So we can decide whether this distro is perfect for day-to-day tasks. It's already proved Manjaro Linux, Linux Mint, Ubuntu are all for the daily use, but we are going to test this specific version. So under system, let's open some applications here. Office, let's check the LibreOffice. So there is no LibreOffice here. VLC Media Player. Internet, what we have on the internet. Let's open the Pigeon. So in the background, all the applications are opening, so that's the reason it's not allowing us to open, but it's not any issue here. So everything is opening without any lag or anything. So everything is working fine without issues. Here is the appearance. So when you scroll it down, you should be seeing these applications. So as you can see, there is no lag or any delay. Every application is opening instantly. Internet, we already opened. Multimedia, let's even open Audacious. Office, we don't have a LibreOffice, but we already have in the information of the release notes, so you should be getting those versions. So we pretty much opened everything, so I don't think there is anything left here to open. So I'm going to do like a switch the applications to see whether there will be any lag. So before that, let me show you how much of resource it's going to consume. So every application is opened. So these are all the processes running right now. And here is our CPU. Here is our RAM. It's consuming 2.3 GB. So about the system requirements, I'm going to show you how much of system requirements you need. So let me type in Manjaro Linux. Manjaro Linux. Here is the information. Just type in like a Manjaro Linux system requirements. Here is some information which is from 2023, but it will be same. So just scroll it down like this and you should be seeing the system requirements. So here is all the information. Recommended system requirements: 4 GB, 30 GB, a dual core processor, a high definition HD graphics card, and a monitor, a broadband internet connection. So these are all the recommended system requirements in order to run the Manjaro Linux. So 4 GB of RAM. So it's pretty much same which I always say in every video. So you need to have like a 4 GB of RAM or more, and also 30 GB of hard disk, but it's better to have like a 50 or 60 GB of hard disk. And about the processor, you need to have dual core processor, whether it's a Pentium, i3 or whatever it is, you need to have dual core processor. So i3 will be also better. If you have dual core processor, it will be okay. And here you need to have a high definition HD graphics card and a monitor and an internet connection. So these are the requirements in order to run the Manjaro Linux smoothly. So we already have a lot of things, so we don't have any issues. And also I'm running it on the virtual machine, so there will be some issues like hiccups here and there. In this case there is nothing, but when you run it on the bare metal, everything will be working fine without any issues, because a lot of users are already using Manjaro Linux. So if you have any doubt, you can go and ask in the forums, or else you can find any other videos and you can do your own research. There are like AI apps to search and they will give you pretty much good answers, or else you can just try it on the virtual machines or on the live boot on your own. And if it's working properly on your PC, then go install it. And if you already have the stable Linux running, then don't need to worry to change to another Linux distribution. So always go with the Linux distributions which has good support, like a 3-4 years of support, and also whether the Linux distro is well known or not, and also whether it's stable or not. So these are all the main things you need to consider. Don't go with the fancy things or anything like that. Always go with the stability and features, and also it has like a support and all those things. So always go with this type of Linux distributions, and always try to find a Linux distribution which are people favorite and also which is from a lot of years, so you don't need to worry about any privacy things and all those things. So these are all the resources running right now. So here is some high peak in the CPU because I opened every applications in a single click. So most of the applications, so that's the reason it has like a high peak in the graph. So when you switch the applications, I don't have any lag or anything. Every application is switching instantly. So that's a good work. So it's pretty much a lot of years it has been like this. So I never seen any lag or anything. If you have the recommended requirements, the Manjaro Linux is also a best option. So if you don't like the Manjaro Linux, you can try another Linux distributions. There are a lot of well-known Linux distributions. So it's not anyone's favorite or it's not my favorite. I'm just saying how it's performing on my PC. So that was my thoughts, or that was the final thoughts on this Linux in the version. So here is other themes and all those. So you can change the themes here. If you want the dark, you can go with the dark. If you want the light, you can go with the light. So here are some options in the themes. And about the icons, you get a lot of icons here. So not a lot, it has like maybe 8 or 9. So you don't get any bunch of things, you just get the basic things here. On the fonts, you can change your fonts. Settings, you can change the settings. Let's check the version of the VLC. You get the 3.0.21. And about the Thunderbird, let's check whether it's a latest version or not. So you get the Supernova instead of Nebula. So you have also the Nebula version available. So you get the 115 version. And about the file manager, you get the 4.18.11. I'm not going to go through all those things because you already know how to customize and you can change your preference according to wish, because you already use the Xfce desktop environment from years. So I don't think there will be anything to show here. Let me close it. Here is the Pigeon. Let's check the GIMP version. You get the 2.10.38. And about the browser, we already saw it's a 130 version. Here are some of the App Store. And here are the versions. Here is the LibreOffice. If you want to install the LibreOffice, here is the version. Here are the files. Here are the details. If you want, you can install. The version will be 24.8.0-1. Here are other applications information. When you go with the installed, here are the options. So here are all the installed packages and applications with the versions beside, or the blue mark, or the version is right here with the blue box. So these are all the installed things. and when you go with the updates, so this is the latest ISO file, so you shouldn't be seeing any latest updates. Even if you see, you should be seeing like a 1 MB or 2 MB of update. So that's the common thing. And about the version, it is the PMAC version 10.6.0. And preference, here is the preference. If you want, you can customize according to your wish. And also you can change into software mode. You can refresh the database. If you want, you can install the local packages. Here is the pigeon. Here is the kernel. If you want to install the RC7, you can install it. If you want to go with the 6.10, or else you can go with the LTS recommended. If you want, you can do that. If you want, you can go with the chain log and get all the information. So do whatever you want here. There are a lot of kernels available right here. Here is our theme manager or the quantum manager. The version is right here. Audacious, here is the version 4.4, and there is no change in the background, so I already showed most of the changed things in this version. So you get a bunch of wallpapers or in the backgrounds, you can change according to your wish. And also here is the menu icons. So here is a good wallpaper, kinda looks like a Windows XP, but not like XP, but it's still good. And about the panels, you can customize your panels. Go with the panel preference if you want, appearance, items. And what else we have here? The setting manager. So we already saw everything. Here is the window manager tweaks. Customize according to your wish. And here is the window manager, keyboard, focus, advanced, and the workspace. What else we left here? The power manager. So I kept almost everything as default. So if you want to change anything, you can change according to your wish. Here is the mouse and the touchpad. If you want any customization, you can do that here. And the Bluetooth adapters. Here is the Manjaro settings manager. We already saw all those things. Here is our session and startup, application auto start. You can add, you can remove, you can edit, do whatever you want. It's clearly up to you. Advanced. So we pretty much covered everything, I guess. So there is nothing left to show here. So I showed all the basic things for a normal user. Let's check the version of the pigeon. You get this version. Volume, you can customize your volume, and also. So at the end of the video, this is how it's performing without any issues, running properly. So the version is 24.0.8, which I already mentioned in the beginning. So it's consuming 1.5 GB. This is how processors are running, CPU is running. So I think I'm going to end the video. So I'm going to post another video also today, because I'll be posting 2 videos daily without missing. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. So everything is working fine without any issues. So this is the Xfce desktop environment. If you tried any other desktop environment, do let me know in the comment section. Or else if you don't want to try it, you can keep with your own Linux distribution. So if it's running properly, you don't need to worry about anything. So this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.